5 most evil people in the Bible. 5. Jehoram of Judah. Joram reigned jointly with his father for a while, but realizing his father's time was drawing short, decided he needed to cement his place as sole ruler of the kingdom of Judah. So Joram did what any prince would do under the circumstances. He took a sword and slashed the throats of his brothers. Single-handedly, this madman dismembered his little brothers. If that isn't evil, I don't know what is. 4. Abimelech. Abimelech deserves to be on this list. Because he didn't kill one brother, he didn't kill 6 brothers, he killed 70. Yes, he murdered all but one of his brothers. After butchering his brothers, he was declared king. And he came to his father's house in Ephraim, and slew his brethren the sons of Jerubbaal, 70 men upon one stone. And there remained only Joatham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, who was hidden. Judges 9, 1-5. 3. Jezebel. Jezebel wasn't just a whore, she was a murderous person. Being a worshiper of Baal, she determined to convert her nation by marriage, Israel, she was a Phoenician princess married to a Jewish king, to the same religion. In order to do so, she killed many Jewish prophets, but it didn't stop there. She sacrificed babies to her god of stone to appease him. Jezebel came to a ruinous end when she was cast from a window by 3 eunuchs, whereupon she was trampled to death by horses and eventually eaten by dogs, leaving behind her feet, skull, and hands. 2. Doeg the Edomite. Doeg the Edomite is first mentioned in 1 Samuel 21:7 and described as a servant of King Saul. Doeg is called Saul's chief shepherd, which probably means he was in charge of all the servants tending Saul's animals. Doeg was an Edomite, not a Hebrew. Israel had been at war with Edom, so Doeg may have entered Saul's service as either a captive or a traitor to his people. 1 Samuel 14:47. Doeg was an evil man, and this was why. At the tabernacle, the priest Ahimelech gave David and his men some consecrated bread from the table of showbread, 1 Samuel 21:6, and Goliath's sword, verses 8-9. Doeg witnessed all this and later told Saul of David's whereabouts. I saw the son of Jesse come to Ahimelech, son of Ahitub at Nob. Ahimelech inquired of the Lord for him. He also gave him provisions and the sword of Goliath the Philistine. So the king turned to Doeg the Edomite and told him to kill them. The wicked Doeg may have seen this as an opportunity to ingratiate himself with the king, so he murdered 85 priests, but he did not stop there. Doeg continued the slaughter by wiping out the entire population of Nob, the city where David had sought help. He also put to the sword Nob, the town of the priests, with its men and women, its children and infants, and its cattle, donkeys, and sheep. 1 Samuel 22:19. This man is wickedness in person. 1. Herod the Great. Herod the Great is the famous king from the time of Christ. He was a Jewish ruler who governed Judea. He is better known for his massacre of innocent children. Herod heard of the birth of Christ, and wanting to prevent a replacement king, ordered the murder of all newborns in the village of Bethlehem, the place of Christ's birth. Herod, the king of Judea, watches as his soldiers slaughter the innocent children of Bethlehem in an attempt to kill the infant Jesus, whom Herod feared would eventually seize his kingdom. According to Boccaccio, 144,000 children were murdered. Imagine killing all the babies born in a city over the previous 2 years. This is why he tops this list. It's important to know that God is not pleased with wickedness, because God hates wicked people. Psalm 11:5 puts it bluntly, God hates wicked people. The Lord tests the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and the one who loves violence. Psalm 11:5. He hates wicked people from his soul, from the very depth of his being. God hates their ways, Proverbs 15:9, their thoughts, Proverbs 15:26, their worship, Proverbs 15:8, their actions, Proverbs 6:18, and their evil deeds, Psalm 5:5. He singles out as a special object of his hatred the blasphemous deeds of the Nicolaitans, those who seduced God's people with idolatry and sexual immorality. Yet this you have. You hate the works of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. Revelation 2:6. Clearly, God hates the thoughts, deeds, and desires of evil people. Why does God harbor such hatred toward wicked people? God hates the wicked because their wickedness is first a mark of the deepest rebellion against him and against his rule. God created humanity to be perfect and sinless, to live in joyful submission to him, to offer him pure worship. But humanity rebelled, and their disloyalty is displayed in acting contrary to God. God hates those who express their hatred toward him. Finally, God hates the wicked because their wickedness is expressed particularly against God's elect. Wicked people turn their fury against God's people, mocking them, persecuting them, putting them to death. Will God judge the wicked? Yes. God must judge the wicked for their rebellion. The Lord preserves all who love him, but all the wicked he will destroy. Psalm 145:20. Psalm 1:5 promises, "The wicked will not stand in the judgment." 5. Indeed, in Luke 13, we find Jesus speaking of that final judgment. We will all face judgment, and we will all approach that judgment with a long record of wicked thoughts and wicked deeds. Yet some will be welcomed by God into his everlasting kingdom. This will not be on the basis of any righteousness we have earned, but only on the basis of the righteousness of Jesus Christ. There is hope for wicked people, if only they will turn to Christ in repentance and faith. If you would like to engage in some further study on how to fight against spiritual wickedness, please leave a comment.